Welcome to the Heritage Hunters Podcast with Dawn Piercy and the Heritage Huntress, where we are climbing trees and turning leaves. Grab your saucers. We've got tea and it's about to be spilled. Welcome to Tutor Now and the Heritage Hunters Podcast. Stay with us because before we're done, I'm going to share one key that can help you stand in your own power. My name is Dawn Piercy, also known as A New Dawn. I am your host. And today I am going to tell you something very important. Before we get to that key I give you at the end of all of this, knowing your roots, I'm going to tell you now, it's not about living in the past. I don't know how many times I've had people say, quit living in the past. No, just because I'm working on family history. Are you serious? Move on. Next, because I'm going to tell you something. It's about discovering the strength to move forward. It's about being able to release strongholds. It's about being able to break the chains. It's about being able to sever the ties that bind. It's about healing from generational trauma. Generational curses, letting all of it go, standing in your own right, your own power. That's what it's about. Knowing where you come from, knowing your roots so you can know where you are going, so you can fully heal. Skeletons in the closet, they tend to fall out. But I'm going to tell you something, putting them in their proper place can help you heal, not only mentally, but spiritually. Somehow, some way, it does. And you don't want to close the door, but don't live there. It's time to move forward. And I'm here to help you do that. So, you can use that generational trauma and genetic trauma to be able to turn it into a platform within yourself and spring into the now, the moment now, okay? Have knowledge of who you really are. Being able to persevere, hold endless strength while moving forward with solid grounding. And really what's most important, what helped them get through? What helped them get through? What helped them persevere? Music. Music. It played a huge part in keeping our ancestors strong, helping them heal, and keep fighting into becoming the resilient ones that we speak of today. Most definitely. So, this is where we're climbing trees and turning leaves. And I've a whole pot of tea. Grab your saucer, grab your cup. Let me pour you some because it's tasty indeed. So that's what I have to say about that. So today I'm going to start with Revolutionary War. The Revolutionary War. And I'm going to start with a gentleman that happens to be my fourth great-grandfather that has overcome so much. Peter T. Caulder and his wife Eliza Hall. Metis. What is Metis? I'm going to tell you what Metis is right now. Metis is indigenous mixed. Indigenous mixed with either European, French, African American, freedmen, which means freed slaves. So a lot of the slaves that were freed married into Native American tribes. They were all put on the Trail of Tears together. There was the Freedmen Act, and lately, the Cherokee Nation did away with the Freedmen Act. They disenrolled all of the African Americans that were descendant of the Native Americans. They're separating people all over again. It really needs to stop. This was their survival. This was their life. This was how they got where they were and are today. You cannot erase history. You can lie all you want, but the fact remains. The fact remains, we are still here and we are still standing. You will not rid the earth of us mixed. It's not going to happen. You whitewashed me. I'm quite whitewashed. But aside from that, no. So Peter T. Caulder, and I'm going to share here in the blog, you can read all about him, and if you want to delve deeper yourselves and go into the list that I'm giving for people that were brought here by John Carter II, that brought slaves, and he was the owner of the Croatian plantation in Virginia, Lancaster, Virginia, the biggest plantation to ever exist. Okay. Now, Peter was a soldier in the War of 1812, and he was a settler in Arkansas. Okay, until he had other African American residents were driven out of Arkansas by an 1859 state law that forbid African Americans from residing in the state. I can't make this up. A native of South Carolina, Peter married my fourth great grandma, Eliza Hall. Now, she was also Metis. She was indigenous as well as African American and European, but she was a Scottish and French mix. Okay, and she is from who we are getting into and going up to into the Carter, the Croatian plantation. So the Nickens, Richard Black Dick Nickens and Chris, they were freed by Colonel Carter upon his will. And now they were the only two freed before anybody else. And they were given a plot of land to farm on, and they were known as a legacy. And people think that they put legacy because Chris, the wife of Richard, these are my ninth great grandparents, they believe that Colonel Carter raped Chris's mom, Mundina, and I have some information on her too. She died blind at 50, and this may be where part of the glaucoma that runs in the family comes in. But they believe that she was raped while in slavery. She gave birth in slavery. She had a bunch of kids, but the only one mentioned at 3 years old was Chris. We don't know what happened to the other ones, but we know I have proof that they were freed. I've got the documents. You can look through them yourself. And all the references. I've got a list of all the people that was enslaved and their children that they had. And I'm putting all the links because some of these might be your family. You may be able to find out where you come from. You may be able to link to here, and then as I get more information, I'm going to add it, whether it be the boat that they came on, what have you. The information is in here that John came over from England, and I'm going to share that too. That's a key piece of information. So Peter, the Arkansas governor, Asa Hutchinson, proclaimed a Peter Caulder Remembrance Day in 2017. Okay, this was after they kicked him out. Billy D. Higgins wrote a book about Peter, and I'm going to go over some of that with you. So the War Memorial, his name was also added to the War Memorial of 1812 in the Arkansas Capitol grounds. Some references that I'm putting here that are clickable links to that, about the pioneer that was expelled by Arkansas being honored, and a monument being placed on the Capitol lawn. There's a book called Stranger and a Sojourner. Peter Caulder, a free black Frontiersmen in Antebellum, Arkansas. I have links to that book so you can read it for free if you